Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So things just keep getting worse. Apparently, the California legislature still doesn't understand what shall not be infringed actually means. Now, if you didn't watch my video yesterday on the ban that they're trying to implement, I suggest you go back and watch that video because it is disgusting what California is actually trying to do here. But in that video, I mentioned that there are 5 new gun control bills that California has introduced. Each one is bad in their own right, but this one that we're talking about today kind of takes the cake because it shows the absolute disdain that California has for your Second Amendment rights. So let's talk about what's going on. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So the bill that we're talking about today is AB 1078. Now, 1078 is a very shady bill because not only does it impose new gun control, but it also seeks to have an effect on an existing case that is currently sitting at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Now, I'm sure you guys all remember the 1 in 30 law that used to be enforced in California. It was basically a law that said you could only acquire 1 firearm every 30 days. Well, thanks to a district court judge in a case called Nguyen v. Bonta, an injunction has been placed against enforcement of that law. Now, for a short time, there was a stay against that injunction. A 3-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals reversed that stay, and so the injunction remains in effect. Now, as a matter of fact, Nguyen v. Bonta has been placed on hold pending the outcome at the Supreme Court in a case called B&L Productions v. Newsom. Now, until that happens, Nguyen v. Bonta, the California 1 in 30 case, kind of sits in limbo. So what does the California legislature do? Well, they introduce AB 1078, which changes the 1 a month to 3 a month, essentially trying to moot Nguyen v. Bonta and make it irrelevant. So again, it changes it from 1 to 3 per month. Now, they've also factored in that with this change, the Ninth Circuit more than likely will side in their favor. And if they do, as part of this bill, which we'll take a look at here in just a second, it will roll back to 1 per month. So it'll go from 3, and then if they win at the Ninth Circuit, it'll roll back to 1. Let's take a look at the bill. Now, this bill actually acknowledges Nguyen v. Bonta, where it says here, an existing federal district court order in a case pending appeal has enjoined the enforcement of the law limiting the number of firearms that a person is allowed to purchase in a 30-day period. They apparently do not care because it says just down below, this bill would increase the number of firearms that a person can apply to purchase within a 30-day period from 1 to 3 and would prohibit the delivery of a firearm by a dealer if the dealer is notified by the Department of Justice that the purchaser has made an application to purchase more than one that would result in the purchase of more than 3 cumulatively within a 30-day period. So you can see right there that they're changing it again from 1 to 3. Now, interestingly enough, this is where it would change back to 1. So it says, if a mandate is issued following an appeal reversing the district court's order and judgment, so that would be the Ninth Circuit in Nguyen v. Bonta reversing the district court's judgment, this bill on the 30th day after the issuance of the mandate would decrease the number of firearms that could be purchased within a 30-day period to 1. So now you all see why I say this bill is shady, because what this bill is doing is it's putting a new restriction on people in California while this case is on hold, and then rolls it back if they win on appeal at the Ninth Circuit. So it's not just about creating this new law, it's about making sure that this effect can be rolled back once they actually win on appeal. So if this actually passes and gets signed, and the Ninth Circuit seems to be helping them out by placing this case on hold, because if the Ninth Circuit were to take this case up and then rule as law exists in the state of California, it might actually fall in our favor. It's not likely, but it has a better chance of actually falling in our favor after the 3-judge panel reverse the stay and the district court injunction and so forth. We might actually win Nguyen v. Bonta. But if they're able to have this law signed, before they actually get oral arguments and the whole thing completed at the Ninth Circuit, well, guess what? The law is now changed. It would be 3. And so the Ninth Circuit would probably just say, well, this is moot. It's not 1 anymore. It's 3. And so we fine for the state of California, or we're just going to throw it out or whatever. And then immediately once that happens, or 30 days after that happens, this new 3 law would revert back to 1. And so it would be like nothing ever happened. Now, again, this bill is just one of many that have been introduced in California. So yesterday we talked about the new ban that was introduced. Today we're talking about the new 3 and 30. And we've also talked about the new bill that would turn California into a permit to purchase state. There are several others that we need to watch very closely. And I'm going to be watching these very closely as well, because California goes through a very long amendment process as it goes from the Assembly to the Senate, and it gets amended in each particular chamber. It's not usually the same bill once it finally ends up being passed or signed or whatever. So we're going to watch this closely, see if anything changes in it, and hopefully we can get a win if we advocate enough to make sure that these bills don't pass. So again, I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. It's best to be informed, be engaged. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this bill and what California is doing. And, thumbs ups are always appreciated too. If you guys feel like I deserve it, that would be great. Also, if you're watching this and you have not yet subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free. It only takes a second, but it really does help us out here quite a bit. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Have a great day.